NEMA's Public Relations Officer for the Southwest, Mr. Ibrahim Fariloyim, on the figures from the collapse in Lagos. Our students under the aegis of the National Imo Students Assembly have staged a protest in Owerri, the Imo State capital, calling on Governor Rochas Okorocha to include their names in the list of beneficiaries for the free education program. Leader of the group, Kenneth Anozie, said the members of the association are Imo indigents attending federal institutions in the state, and it is unfair to be denied this privilege. The state government insisted their agitation is not baseless, but is appealing to them to be a little more patient.
If I say education is free, and no more payment of school fees by any son or daughter of Imo State in the Imo State institution.
Since this declaration was made by Governor Rochas Okorocha in 2012, the action has continued to generate criticism. The latest is from these student protesters who gathered at the government house gate in Owerri to seek audience with the state governor. They said the free education policy does not cover all, as suggested, as Imo indigents in other federal tertiary institutions in the state are not part of the beneficiaries.
The free education is assumed to be just only IMSU, that is Imo State University, and the Imo State Polytechnic. But we are in federal schools, and the federal school students are also indigents of Imo State.
To shed more light on this controversy, the state government says the agitation of the protesting students is not baseless, but they need to understand the policy.
The government defined it to include all tertiary institutions owned by the state within the state, all secondary schools owned by the state within the state, and all primary schools owned by the state within the state. It is normal, it is natural for people who are outside this definition to begin to seek government intervention so that they too can benefit.
If you compare fee schedule of state-owned institutions in the different states in Nigeria and that of federal, you will see that people who attend federal institutions pay very low fees. And our governor, not minding our meager resources, says we will give free education.
In addition, the state government says if students of federal-owned tertiary institutions could seek to be absorbed in the free education program, it's an indication that it is on course.
As in the basis of their protest, if there is merit in the argument and the government discovers that it has the capacity to accommodate them, there won't be anything wrong accommodating them.
As Imo indigents schooling in Imo State University, Imo State Polytechnic, and Imo State School of Nursing continue to enjoy the free education policy of the state government, these student protesters from federal-owned tertiary schools will have to wait until the state government includes them.